Good evening and salutations, my GH fans. So, during a trip of Ava seeing Nicholas, we finally get, which to be honest, my chat in a live stream figured it out a while ago, before she even actually said anything. So, bravo for the people that actually figured it out. We understand, we now understand why Ava wants to get so close. Like what is her end game with Sunny? And it's simple. She likes the power. She likes being in the know, in the inner circle, whatever you want to sit there and call it. She likes the fact that she gets to sit there and throw it in Carly's face. She, she likes the fact that she is the person that Sonny's relying on. And I'm surprised that she told all this stuff to Nicholas, especially the Mets part, because at that point, he was like, wait, I'm sorry, what? Now, he said the same thing that I said. Girl, you playing with fire, okay? You know how he is on a good day, right? Now, of course, because she wants to feel like she's needed and stuff like that, and she does sit there and say, I'm going to try to figure out who is cutting his dosage. But, I want to sit there and be there for him. I want him to know that, I got his back and everything. And Nicholas is sitting there saying the same thing that everyone else is saying. If this man finds out that you knew that his pills was tampered with and you didn't say anything, oh, it's going to be your ass. Okay? It is going to be your ass. Now, she does talk about, well, she pretty much justifies the reason of why she stabbed pretty much nearly her only friend in the back. Because she was like, Nina never really got Sunny, you know? Which is very true. Nina fell in love with a fantasy. And while she may be 100% correct about that and be like, hey, listen, they were eventually going to, crash and burn anyway, all you're really doing is justifying your reasons of why you stabbed her in the back. Let's just sit there and call it what it is. Um, so Christina meets up with Dex, and she asks him point blank about that kill order with Cyrus. And Dex confirms it. And Christina's like, well, I feel like an idiot and pretty naive. I can't imagine my dad since they're doing something like that. And I'm just like, really? I just, like, part of me is just like, how can you just be this dumbfounded? How can you be this dumbfounded? Your dad is a monster. And this is actually throwing you for a loop? Now, Chelsea comes out and, she pretty much sits there and says, you're right. Now, if Josh was sitting there being petty Betty, she could have been like, I know I was right. Your dumbass actually walked up to me, pregnant and all, getting all up in my face, and they're trying to defend daddy, and I was right. She could have been petty Betty, but she chose not to. Now, she didn't exactly apologize, but she did sit there and say, it's unfortunate the way that you had to sit there and find out. Which I'm just like, you just was not going to sit there and give her the satisfaction of apologizing, right? Not just for arguing with a pregnant woman, but for just the way that you sat there and came at her. But I guess that's her version of an apology. Now she does sit there and also, own up to with Dex like, hey, listen, I shouldn't sit there and really judge you so much like my ish don't stink. Okay. Um, and she realized, like, hey, listen, if I'm coming across as super judgy, that's on me. And she does sit there and talk about how the PCPD would be lucky to have him, but at the same time, it's like you do know that that's pretty much a death sentence at this point, right? So while that's going on, you got John talking to Carly. And Carly sniffing, explaining her reasons of why she took the hotel from Jason as opposed to everyone else. Because even John was like, yo, listen, you don't seem like the type of person that would sit there and just take a handout. You know, you come across as the Miss Independent vibes and everything. Well, you know, of course, with Jason, it's Jason. Now, she does sit there and say, well, I did it for him. I don't even know what that means, but we could just all chalk it up because, you know, if Jason gives it to her, she's just going to sit there and take it. Which, I mean, I still do side with Nina when she was like, hey, you sat there and said you was going to get it by yourself. And the minute that a man swooped in and said, then give it to you, you took it. I can already read the comments now. I can already sit there and read on, well, what was Jason supposed to do? Blah, 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 blah. I don't care. The point is, she still took it. Um, Now, while John does sit there and say he is happy, you can tell there's a part of him that does have that bit of regret because he knows that, like, hey, listen, if Jason does not follow through, your ass is going to jail. So while he's not there looking at her in her face and she's smiling and everything like that, he knows he's like, yeah, well, you better hope your boy Jason comes through because it ain't gonna end well. And to look somebody in the face and know that you are gonna sit there and do him dirty, it does kind of hurt you a little bit, you know. Now, while Anna's there talking to Jason, catching up, talking about how Valentine is part of Pikeman and everything, um, she also talks about how she has a blind spot because of the whole Charlotte thing. I'm not gonna lie, the minute she brung up the whole Charlotte shooting, I just rolled my eyes. It was just like, bro, I don't care. I was like, honestly, tell you the truth, Charlotte got what she got. You know, don't sit there and walk up in people's places and you know, expect nothing to happen. You played the game of F around and you found out. So to be honest, I don't care. That whole guilt thing when she started like look like she was about to sob, I was like, oh god, here we go again with this. Um, but she does sit there and ask Jason to sit there and read Valentine since, you know, she feels a little kind of guilty. Or she felt like her game is off whenever she talks to him and tries to ask him questions and tries to read it. Meanwhile, Brennan is just settling at home, you know, just kind of just running a joint pretty much, talking to Valentine about Jason, their plan, and one of their plan. Well, their plan, they can change tomorrow. Who the hell knows? Is that they're gonna sit there and take out Jason and blame it on Sonny, since they already know that Jason and Sonny, you know, they got issues and everything. Then they talk about Anna, right? And long story short, Brenda's like, listen, I like Anna, I do, but she getting a little bit too close. I ain't having her f up this situation. So you need to sit there and keep your distance because the closer you get, the more she's gonna sit there and find out. AKA, we gonna have to sit there and take out Anna. Now he doesn't really sit there and say much. He's just like, all right, you know, listen, I'm leaving or whatever. And he just bounces. That's the question, though, right? Is he gonna allow Anna to sit there and get taken out? Or is he gonna blow the whole operation and save Anna? I think we know which one he's gonna choose, but maybe the writers will be like, hey, let's do something interesting and something different that no one expects, and I'm really hoping so. Now, after John talks to Carly, comes over and finds Jason and Anna talking. Anna's like mid speech about what she's doing, and he pretty much kind of just pulls a rock, you know. I don't exactly remember how the whole thing goes or whatever, but I think it's something along the lines of like what's your name? It doesn't matter. Like the way he just cut her off was just hilarious. But he pretty much makes it known, like, Jason, listen, you just because you're back, you're spending all this money, it don't mean that you're free. Like you still he makes it known you're still working for me. And he's like, bottom line is if you do not get any intel on Pikeman, um, Carly's not gonna have the hotel because she'd be in jail. So whatever you're doing, hanging out, I don't care. Get it done. Now I wonder what's gonna end up happening to Jason though, because like let's just then say he gets this whole thing completed and he takes down Pikeman and everything like that. What happens to Jason? Carly doesn't go to jail, but does Jason go to jail? What's that about? Or is he gonna be a free man? Or is John just gonna sit there and be a dick and be like, hey, listen, I got another assignment for you. Yeah, I know I said that out loud. So Jason better have a contingency plan. That's what I'm gonna sit there and say. He better have a contingency plan. So Drew offers Willow like because she's thinking about doing this whole charity thing. So Drew's like, hey, listen, I want you to be a spokesmodel for some sort of bone cancer charity or whatever that they're doing, and they want her to sit there and kind of head it up and kind of it's because it's very near and dear to her and it happened to her. She could sit there and be the spokesmodel. So she's like, I don't know. I got to think about it. I'm just like, what is it you got to think about? I mean, your life was literally saved because Liesel gave you her bone marrow. So I like I don't understand. Um, Mike was like, oh well, if you want to sit there and take some time, if you want to think about it. And Will was like, well, what do you think I should do? I was like, what do you? I'm not gonna lie. Partly when she said, what do you think I should do? I was like, why is this character on the show? Like seriously, why is this character still on the show? Um, so while they're talking about that, Nina comes in, and Willow doesn't even sit there and acknowledge her, doesn't even look at her, whatever. It's like she has this look of almost like disdain. I was like, boo, Aurora and Crimson go hand in hand. You didn't sit there and think at some point of the day that you were not going to run into her. It's kind of like when she went out for their anniversary and she saw him and she saw her and she had that little stink attitude. Like at the time, that was part of her restaurant. I don't know. I just like every scene, scenes like this and scenes like when she was meant to ask Michael, well, "What do you think I should do?" It's like, why the hell are you still on the show? Like seriously, why are you even on this show at this point? Um, but she leaves. Nina comes in, and Nina's like, "Oh, I need to sit there and talk to you about Carly, whatever. I'm having some maintenance issues, and she seemed like she's just not being very helpful." And Drew's like, "Oh, maintenance issues. Imagine that. Was it those same maintenance issues that wound up happening when Carly was running Crimson?" So they talk about that for a little bit, and now Nina's like, "Oh, why? I need you to sit there and help me. Don't you want to sit there and get paid back for Carly and this, that, and the third?" I'm just like, what? Anyway, bottom line is they wound up having love in the afternoon because, I mean, why not? They got the time, so they wound up doing that. And I laughed once again. I don't know. Every time they go at it, there's something about it just so comedic. It's like for me, it's not one of those things like, oh man, that's so hot. It's just like, oh, this is just hilarious. I mean, I think most of those lovemaking scenes are always very funny and awkward, but there's something about those two that when they go at it, it's just hilarious to me. Anyway, I'm not gonna lie, I think that's about it. There's more to sit there and talk about, but that's it as far as the review is concerned. So, um, come to the live stream tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. We'll sit there and talk about all the shows. General Hospital, Days of Our Lives, Bold and Beautiful, and Young and Restless. And with that being said, I'm going to go. I'll see you in the next video.